The citizens of Tinley Park gathered in the arena again on Tuesday night to keep their village officials accountable for what's going on in the village of Tinley Park. One of the many complaints has been that the village has no clear plan for what to do on Oak Park Avenue.
One of the things that all of us would like to see is there a comprehensive plan that shows the vision that you intend to bring to life for the rest of these constituents? I'd actually like to hear what the vision is that you have for our community.
Another concerned citizen took the village members to task for breaking the Open Meetings Act repeatedly and made sure to inform their new lawyers not to make the same mistakes that Kleinthorpe Jenkins has.
The meeting that's going to be in 2 days for the combined zone appeals and plan commission meeting. This meeting is, in fact, a public meeting, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If you look at the agenda item, it shows no part on the agenda for public comment. So will there be public comment, or are we going to violate the Open Meetings Act again?
There should be public comment. There will be public comment.
Okay, good. I'm just letting you know that it wasn't on there, so they should probably have that on there in future. Okay.
Got it.
All right. And our new attorney, if you could double check that stuff where it goes up, thank you.
Pause then went after board member T.J. Grady for calling one of the citizens of Tinley Park a vulgar name at the last meeting.
After that is why I'm now up here. I do want to speak in defense of citizens of Tinley Park and hardworking investigator, a tremendous digger of information and provider of documents for us, Mr. Glotz over to my side here. This man has done so much for the people of Tinley Park. I wish every single village, I wish every single person in the media had the perseverance of this man right here, represented by this button, which interestingly enough is a private detective, otherwise known as a dick. Now, why do I say that? Because at that meeting, and you can hear this on the public transmission in YouTube, that Trustee Grady called Michael Glotz a dick.
That's it. No, that was a nice shot. Anytime. Want to come back.
Now, it could have been in the fact that he is a very good private investigator, that this man, on his own, has stayed up late, digging up documents for us, exposing what's going on in our village. Now, I don't know if it was in regards to his prowess as a private investigator or something else, but I just want everyone to know that this man here has done such a great service for this community, and I would hope that everyone in the future on that board gives this man some respect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Others came to voice their concern about the direction they see their village heading.
My name is Bob Soga, and I'm concerned about all these liquor licenses you want to give out. Now, what I did, I started with the Freedom of Information request. I've got 100 pages of 5 bars on Oak Park Avenue with liquor licenses. These are all the police calls. 100 pages. For only 3 years. I only went back 36 months. And I asked also, and I didn't get it, how many of these bars were suspended for all different kinds of violations. I didn't get it back because I don't think there is any. So my concern is you're going to give out more and more liquor licenses, and there's going to be more and more police calls, and our cops are going to be running around. I mean, if you look at this thing, it's ridiculous what goes on. And that's because of the liquor licenses. We don't need any more liquor licenses. We don't need any more of these casinos because there's going to be more police calls. And one of the guys that I checked into, he's going to be the one that you want to give the license to on 183rd Street. And you ought to see the calls that came to his bar. And you want to give him another license. It's ridiculous. So I think we got to do something and stop issuing all these liquor licenses.
People in the crowd pointed out that Mayor David Seaman received campaign donations from some of those who got liquor licenses.
$1,500. It's right here. I got it right here to Mr. Seaman. I don't know if that means anything when he gets a liquor license, but he gave him $1,500.
The citizens of Tinley Park are simply tired of business as usual.
You know, we hear the village board saying we believe the village board would be better served. I think a lot of the people here want you to make decisions on the citizens of Tinley Park being better served.
Keeping the heat on the mayor, one citizen went after him for playing dumb about the state of Oak Park Avenue.
2 weeks ago, I asked our mayor what his plans were for some of the abandoned businesses. He looked at me and said to me, "What abandoned businesses?" I was never so insulted in my life. How could you say that to me? All you had to do was look at Oak Park Avenue. You asked me what businesses on Oak Park Avenue. I would like an apology.
I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to apologize for.
Not only does Tinley's village mayor seem tone deaf, but its employees have trouble keeping their stories straight.
At the one committee of the whole, Mr. Niemeyer, I don't remember how long ago it was, I asked about the raises. I believe it was you, maybe it wasn't. Someone said that there is no step raises when you were talking about the raises.
There is for employees that are basically in the step plan do get step increases, and that's employees who are in the early years of their career. But if an employee is moving through and gets satisfactory valuations, they are eligible for step increases.
Plus their raise, though?
Well, there's separately, the board has the option of basically adjusting the scales for the pay ranges every year. So yeah, that would apply to really any full-time employee, and it's similar to what the public works and the police unions get.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
at the committee of the whole, I did ask you, and you said there were no step raises.
If I said that, I apologize, because, yeah,
So there is step raises.
There is step increases for some employees.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
After months of asking, the village still has not alleviated the public's concern about transparency.
I asked that a citizen panel be put together to oversee, or not to oversee, to be included in once the sheriff has finished his investigation. And this was, if you recall, I'm pressing this because of the Chantel Carlin affair. I don't want to ever see this happen again, and you've lost our trust, you know that. One way to gain it back is to allow this to take place.
Questions still linger about a shady payout that went to a Tinley Park supervisor who was accused of misconduct. As usual, the village has no answers.
Yes, sir.
It just came up again, and it was brought up and touched on last meeting. Chantel Carlin, 93,000 exit package, it was brought up, and you sounded like you weren't really familiar with the details. Because it just astounds me that you'd even consider, you know, with her employment history and reprimands, that you'd even consider it. All right, just let me read it off here. Tinley Park officials paid more than a year's salary to a 9/11 telecommunications supervisor who had been disciplined for misconduct as part of a rare resignation agreement. Records obtained by the Tribune show. Village leaders refused to answer questions about why they decided in August to give $93,000 to the employee who was paid $91,000 in 2012. Former 911 supervisor Chantel Carlin had been disciplined for misconduct last year and signed a last chance agreement with the village in an effort to keep her job in February 2012. Under the agreement, Carlin was suspended for 8 days without pay and agreed to avoid any further instance of time fraud, employee bullying, or overtime manipulation. She was required to go under at least 4 months of counseling, including proof of anger management. The agreement noted that Carlin understands that arriving for work on time and not leaving work early is important. As part of the resignation, Carlin promised not to sue Tinley Park and was barred from making any disparaging statement about the village. In exchange, The village promised to provide a positive reference to prospective future employers and to remove any negative documents placed in her personal file. The village also agreed to reimburse her for 3 months of job search coaching. So with that kind of work history, I'm just wondering, why would you even consider a severance package when she should have been, basically a train wreck of an employee? And I'm just wondering, this predates the 3 new trustees, but the rest of you, did you vote to recommend this severance package? Did you all vote?
I'm going to ask council about this because, first of all, how unusual is it that severance packages are done for employees that are, for one reason or another, determined to be best somewhere else?
I've definitely seen them. We've done them. It happens. Yeah.
I mean, this is not it's not common, and it's not been common in this village, but it does happen, and it was at the time felt to be the best option available for all parties involved.
Did it have anything to do with that? Was during the re-election campaign? That was an election year. Was that a determination or legal advice from Klein, Thorpe, and Jenkins that the best option for the village during an election or election year?
Council was engaged in the conversation, as was village administration staff at the time.
So she had information, some type of valid legal claim against the village where they had to offer her a severance package, and then there's a confidentiality agreement with it. So, because it seems like it's, this happened in 2013, but it just seems to be similar with the planning director that she's hired at will, right? Where, you can fire her for probably what you already know, and she's still being paid. For how long has this been? It's been months. What's taken so long? Because, it seems to be similar, though, to where employees basically have the village, by the short and curlies, to where they can. How did Chantel Carlin leverage that type of deal? What could she possibly? Did you all vote? Because you four, did you vote and?
Yes.
You voted for it, everybody? Was it a unanimous?
Well, I don't recall offhand. There was a consensus.
But how can you possibly explain that? How do you explain that to residents in the village that, hey, we just gave her, we didn't fire her, we gave her $93,000 and a positive, how do you give her a positive? What the hell did she have on you guys? Seriously. No, she must have, I just don't understand it. How do you defend that? Because it seems to be coming around again.
Okay. We hope not.
Well, do you have any explanation, though, of why you felt it necessary to give her, a bag of cash?
Upon the advice of council, upon the advice of village administration.
So Klein, Thorpe, and Jenkins thought it was the village best option to just give her a wad of cash, even though she basically, falsified time cards?
That was their opinion at the time.
And then there's a confidentiality agreement.
So
that, makes it more suspect that.
Sometimes you don't always, whether you run a business or whether you run a government, sometimes you do stuff that you don't want to do.
That just looks terrible.
It
looks terrible.
Thank you. I agree.
The citizens of Tinley Park aren't taking "we don't know" as an answer anymore. This woman has been at the center of this controversy that's heating back up again. Chantel Carlin, who was accused of falsifying time cards, bullying employees, and showing up late for work, was given a $93,000 exit package, and the citizens of Tinley Park are not going to rest until they find out why. Calling citizen activists names isn't going to make this go away. And village officials or board members who know what happened with Chantel Carlin need to start talking.